Jimmy Kimmel's at war with Mickey Mouse, and he's lawyering up. Kimmel was spotted heading to his attorney's office last night in Hollywood, where he had a powwow with Disney executives. Jimmy's not happy because his old time slot is airing reruns of Celebrity Family Feud. He's refusing to apologize and wants to come out swinging and blast Charlie Kirk and MAGA. A major protest was planned today outside of ABC Studios here in New York City. Let's see what that looked like.
Bring back Jimmy! Bring back Jimmy! Bring back Jimmy! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Censorship has got to go! Hey, hey! Censorship has got to go!
11 million people in New York and a few dozen come out to defend Kimmel. The crowd was mostly retired women and laid-off writers. They're telling us this was the biggest free speech attack of the century, and only 30 people showed up. Does Congress care? Not a single person gave a floor speech about Kimmel today. Swalwell just handed out a bunch of hats to 6 people. Does the world care? Millions of people were touched by Charlie Kirk. There were massive vigils. The only person we could find was Irish Rosie, yelling about Jimmy at a local pub. The New York Post reported a bartender said she was necking down glasses of Smithwick's Red Ale, ranting about Kimmel getting the boot. The only other people who care are his late-night colleagues, and they're all taking this really seriously. Kind of.
Welcome, one and all, to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert. But tonight, we are all Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, a lot of people are worried that we won't keep saying what we want to say or that we'll be censored.
We have another fun, hilarious, administration-compliant show.
I just want to say before we get started here that I've always admired and respected Mr. Trump.
We are all Jimmy Kimmel? What does that mean? We've all lost our company money, started a boycott, and got suspended by our boss for refusing to apologize? We are all not Jimmy Kimmel. People get suspended all the time. People lose their jobs all the time for refusing to get vaxxed, when migrants take their jobs, or when presidents kill pipelines or send their jobs to China, or when politicians defund the police. Kimmel's got 4 homes. He just bought an $8 million beach house, and he's on paid leave. All he has to do to get his little show back is say, I'm sorry, I lied. I was wrong. I've said it. And if you don't want to say you're sorry because you don't mean it, then you don't get it. Maybe you shouldn't come back. When Paul Pelosi got hit in the head with a hammer, some guys got the story wrong. But here's what Jimmy said then.
How can we move so quickly to smearing these people? I am a Catholic. I grew up in the church. What I was taught was that if you do something wrong, you ask for forgiveness, and you are forgiven for these things.
Kimmel said it. If you're wrong, ask for forgiveness. And he can't do it. And Kimmel shouldn't have been wrong. Everybody knew the assassin was a leftist. That's why Kimmel has producers.
We say a lot of things on this show. We don't make up lies. In fact, we have a team of people who work very hard to sift through facts and reputable sources before I make a joke. And that's an important distinction.
Where was Kimmel's fact-checking team Monday? Because saying MAGA shot Charlie when the FBI, Utah governor, and even the shooter's parents were saying this guy's left wing seems like a big slip-up. Why would he think we killed Charlie Kirk? We love Charlie. We'd write, catch this fascist on a bullet and shoot him with it? Kimmel has no common sense. Or he lied on purpose. And making that kind of mistake in corporate America is a big no-no. If you were at work and you got sloppy and cost the company a lot of money and teed off a bunch of clients and got a lot of bad press for the brand and started a boycott, and your boss said, can you clean this up? And you said no, you'd get suspended too. You'd probably get fired. I don't care if Kimmel gets his show back. I don't want him to lose his job. But he doesn't even need to lose his job over something like this. He can make it right. But ABC is looking for a reason to cut loose these failing shows. The whole industry is. Look at Colbert. People come and go all the time. Ask Stelter.
Look,
Take it from me, Caitlin. I've been canceled before on television. Sometimes being canceled is the best thing that can ever happen to a TV host. I think Kimmel might be looking around and realizing he has a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here, a chance to reinvent himself.
Stelter wasn't canceled, he was fired. And now he's back on CNN, and he just doesn't have a show. Some of these people are acting like Kimmel disappeared. Just because you don't see him on TV doesn't mean he's not alive.
If you ever wondered how democracy dies, you're witnessing it. This is North Korea-style stuff, and it's being done because this is a weak, thin-skinned man who's failing as a president. All of the things he promised are not happening, and this is exactly what dictators do.
If this were North Korea, Kimmel wouldn't have survived Trump's first term. And he wasn't suspended for a joke. He flat out lied about a crime, the biggest assassination in over half a century. Hillary thinks it's just a big, vast right-wing conspiracy.
I had no idea when I was in public life and listening to the jokes that were made about me and the attacks that were, coming from people like Jimmy Kimmel and others, that I could have called up the head of the FCC and said, take them off the air.
The FCC didn't suspend Jimmy. Bob Iger did. If they're mad, be mad at Bob. They're just not used to facing the same scrutiny as we are. They think they should be held to different standards than us. And when they do get in trouble, they scream dictator. They've never faced consequences. And now they're whining about the Constitution. No, you're just a jerk. Morning Joe says this is cancel culture.
Think about the madness of all of this. Again, you've got now the MAGA right being champions of cancel culture. You've got the MAGA right now trying to crush free speech after being supposed free speech absolutists. Are you kidding me?
You can't say whatever you want on Morning Joe. You know how many on-air apologies and corrections they've had to make? Scarborough can't tell racist jokes or defame people or start reading from Mein Kampf or talk about how he loves to torture animals. If Scarborough gets suspended for that, is that cancel culture? No, he's just saying stupid things on TV that hurt the company and disgust the country. Anchors get put in timeout all the time. MSNBC took Morning Joe off the air the Monday after Butler because they didn't trust Joe and Mika's mouth. That's not censorship. That's smart. Matthew Dowd got fired by MSNBC for saying Charlie had it coming. Remember last week? They're not sticking up for Matthew Dowd. Matthew Dowd's like, what about me?
Not one person has said anything about me. Not one person on that network has said, they've all gone out of their way to say, isn't this horrible what happened to Jimmy Kimmel? Isn't even including Morning Joe and Mika, who went after me after the show, basically saying they were glad I was terminated. And now today they're talking about how awful it is for our country that somebody like Jimmy Kimmel can't say what he said and he is indefinitely suspended, and not an iota about what their employer just did to another employee.
What Dowd said was a little worse than Jimmy, but he makes a good point about Mika and Joe. These are business decisions, and ABC is a business, although not a very good one. ABC White House correspondent Jonathan Carr just got roughed up pretty good. Watch.
There's never been a person that's had more unfair publicity than me, and that's why your network paid me $15 million, or $16 million, I believe, to be exact, George Slopadopoulos. The reason I'm winning is because you're guilty, John. You're guilty. ABC is a terrible network, a very unfair network, and you should be ashamed of yourself. NBC is equally bad. I don't know who's worse. I think they're equally bad. So you can't sit back and just say, oh, well, what do you think? Like you're some wonderful person. You're not a wonderful person. Frankly, you're a terrible reporter. You know it, and so do I.
These reporters are sticking up for a guy who Gutfeld's beating by millions. And Gutfeld's on cable. He doesn't get promoted on Monday Night Football, the Emmys, Good Morning America. Last month, Kimmel didn't even crack 130,000 young viewers. Jimmy Kimmel Live's a money pit. He's a charity case for Mickey Mouse. Shari Redstone, who just sold CBS and put Colbert out to pasture, said it's about dollars and cents.
I can tell you that we had been looking at late night. It was financially not viable. It had been that way for a long time. We had made a decision months prior to the announcement that we were not going to be going forward with that show. I love Stephen. He does a great job, but we really needed to be in a financially viable business, and you saw we did that with James Corden as well.
Late night TV was already in the ninth inning. Executives are looking for excuses to cut these hosts loose, and these hosts are giving them good reasons to. And now they're blaming Trump and censorship, but they're not finding any sympathy in the boardroom or on the streets. No one cares about Jimmy Kimmel and whether he has a show or not. We care about Charlie, who lost more than a show. He lost his life.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today. Click join to find out how.